I know everybody on Instagram thinks that lawyers are all turning green like the Grinch during this time of year, but I'm over here hoing it up, and you're watching UNBILLABLE. I've always wanted to do a Christmas special, right? I mean, why not? And so when Luis came to me and said, what would you do if Santa came in for a consultation? Well, I started with a pretty big laugh. Well, I would charge him my hourly rate. My name is Amir Afsar. I'm a California licensed attorney, and when I'm not making this vlog, I'm literally giving legal advice to business owners and entrepreneurs like Saint Nick himself. The difference is, of course, I wouldn't be able to talk about it specifically, his name, because of attorney-client privilege, but this isn't about me. This is about the business and entrepreneurial needs of Santa Claus. So I would start with an extreme level of concern about the fact that Santa Claus, as far as I know, he operates like as an individual. He has no business entity. There's no Santa Claus LLC. There's no Christmas Incorporated. I mean, there might be somewhere else, but as far as I know, for Santa, for Saint Nick, for the, overweight guy, red suit, beard, right? It's an individual business, and so he has personal liability, meaning there's no protection if something were to go wrong. If one of those gifts that his operations creates were to cause damages, he would be exposed personally. Like, he could lose his own home at the North Pole. Whereas if he had an LLC, that LLC or that corporation, it would step in and provide some liability. Now, there could be some insurance, but what if that insurance is exhausted and they come after his personal debts? As an LLC or a corporation, you would be protected. As an individual, you're not. You and the business are one and the same. Come on, Santa. Form an LLC or a corporation. All right, so the second thing Santa and I need to discuss, and again, you would never know about this if this was really happening.
Wait, what?
I could never talk about this if this was true. It would be violating so many tenets. It's even in the fake sense of having a hard time disclosing what I would do in a private consultation, and it's completely manufactured. All right.
And we're back.
And we're back. Don't do that. Oh, the second thing I would discuss with Santa is just the entire employment situation. I mean, the elves, if you will, are they getting proper lunch breaks? Are they taking proper breaks during their hourly work? Are they hourly employees? Are they salaries? I mean, are they independent contractors? I mean, I'm not even sure exactly. I'm just concerned really with the structure of the business as a whole, as far as how you treat all of these elves, whether they're getting proper breaks, whether they're being overworked. Are they even old enough to work? Are they too old to work? I mean, I'm not really sure how old the elves are. But the point would be, Santa as an employer, you would need to be, making sure the elves are clocking in and clocking out, taking their 15-minute rest breaks and making sure they're taking their proper lunch breaks. You wouldn't want anyone, unnecessarily being forced to work overtime and not being compensated for it. You wouldn't want to have any kind of incorrect, well, does Santa pay the elves? I mean, if you're not paying the elves, that creates a whole other levels of problems. There's too many problems to even talk about. I'm very concerned with how we're treating the elves, Santa. The third thing that Saint Nick and I would need to face is just the treatment of the reindeer, the operation of the sleigh. I'm concerned that you could face some backlash with animal cruelty, animal rights activists. I mean, I don't recall off the top of my head how many reindeer there are. I know someone's gonna murder me for that. That's okay. But I know that one of them has a red nose, and so is that a health issue? Is that a sign that that reindeer is being overworked? I mean, so there's concerns when it comes to just the treatment of animals. Having animals as employees or working with animals is a situation where you need to actually be careful, because there are laws and requirements for the way you treat those animals. So in this scenario, I know we talked earlier about the elves and sort of the creation of the gifts, but it's also that delivery process, the delivery of the gifts. I'm not sure if the sleigh and the reindeer is the most efficient mechanism for the delivery of these presents. I know you're also landing on roofs. We'll get to that next. But I mean, as far as the actual use of reindeer, it might be time to kind of call Tesla. The truth about this consultation with Santa is that the longer it goes on, the more I am concerned about the entire business enterprise that is sort of the Merry Christmas. And what I'm going to get into next is, like I said, we've talked about the business entity, sort of the exposure Santa might have by being a sole proprietor. We've talked about the elves and the employment liability that he could be facing, depending on how that's even structured. I also have just now covered even the animals. But the last thing is the delivery of the presents, like landing on roofs. This is clearly, I mean, number one, it's dangerous. It's dangerous to be landing on roofs. Even in the East Coast right now, there's a blizzard going on. So some of these roofs are going to be covered in snow. So it's going to be highly dangerous. So this cannot be a safe method of delivering presents. Now, we're also talking about going down the chimney. That is not a common means to be entering someone's property. You're doing this at night while they're sleeping. There's concerns that you're really, in fact, breaking into people's homes. That in and of itself is criminal conduct. And so, like, once anything bad happens, once you're breaking into someone's home, especially where that's a felony, you could be liable for things far beyond, far greater than you think you're just delivering presents, right? Like, what if you were to come in through that chimney and someone's, like, I don't know, getting some milk and cookies out of the refrigerator and were to have a heart attack when they saw you? So, like, you would be responsible for the murder based on felony murder laws, right? Because it's a felony for the breaking and entering of the home, and then that death, even though you didn't mean to cause it, felony murder, it's going to place that on you, Santa. So, like, my concerns for Santa really are deep here, because I think the more we're looking at this is something where we need to talk about consent to enter people's homes. And I know a lot of you out there right now are thinking that's a ridiculous idea, because how could he possibly contact all the homes? But if he can get there to deliver all the presents, we certainly could use that same mechanism, that same kind of technology, whatever it is that he's using to deliver the presents, to deliver like a notice, something that the people could sign off on, giving us, you know, permission. Maybe we could leave the gifts at the door.
Wouldn't that be on Amazon already? Isn't that, maybe Santa is Amazon.
I mean, right? Leave the gifts at the door. All right, so if Santa is insisting on continuing to provide these ho-ho-hos, the last thing I need to be worried about are sort of tax implications. Is there income? There's no income that I'm aware of. There's quite a bit of gift giving. Depending on the size of the gift, he could be exceeding the amount, like the dollar value that you can gift to someone individually. I mean, you know, according to some of the commercials I see, people are getting like Lexuses. I mean, not at my house, but if you're getting a gift that size, you're probably exceeding the amount that you can receive as a gift. So potentially there's some tax exposure there. I mean, his balance sheet, it's kind of frightening. I mean, I'm not sure what he's paying the elves. I don't know where the product, like where he's buying and obtaining the actual goods from which he creates. I would have to get a lot of specific information. But again, it's all about taxes at the end of the day. And that's what brings us back to the very first thing I said, which is you need to form an LLC or corporation. One of the things Santa could be doing is writing off things associated with the business if he was that structure. If he was an LLC or a corporation, he could be writing off the expenses of the toys. He could be writing off, I don't know, maybe some of the perks that he's giving to the management. He could definitely be writing off that sleigh. He could be subscribing over there and catching another episode of UnBILLABLE with me right down here. Merry Christmas, everybody.